Hello, everybody. This is Tony, the Geeky Agent from here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on this glorious, glorious hump day in the middle of our lovely week on Wednesday, August, whatever day it is, 15th. It is my friend Donna's birthday, obviously, so it is August 15th. And it is a pretty decent day here in Hamilton. It's hot as heck. It's well over 30 degrees at this point Celsius. I have no idea what the humidity is like, but it's brutal. So we're having a great day here. And we're going to chat about tiny houses. Everybody's chatting about tiny houses. If you're watching, I don't know, HGTV and all these other programs on television, that seems to be the newest little trend, the little funky little thing that they get to do to keep you entertained, is to show you some tiny houses and all these neat little projects people are working on. And it is becoming an issue in larger cities where housing is difficult to find. It's expensive. People are looking to infill. They're looking at things like laneway housing and other options just to try and give people a place to live. We're going to take a bit of a lighter look at the subject, a little bit funnier side of it, hopefully, because there are some issues with tiny houses that a lot of people just don't talk about. This idea or this... The idea for this talk today actually came from an article that was just posted on Inman.com this morning, and it talks about this 350 square foot Soho apartment that is selling for $750,000 US. So they're getting a little apartment in Soho. It's 350 square feet, and that is selling for $750,000, $750,000. To give you an idea of what 350 square feet looks like, most people's living rooms are bigger than that. If your living room is 20 by 20, which is, standard in roughly like a 2,300 square foot house or so, or pretty close, a 20 by 20 living room is 400 square feet. So if you're just a little bit smaller than that, that would be your entire apartment. Now that includes your living room, your bedroom, obviously your kitchen and your bathroom, and any storage, anything else that you got going as far as that's concerned. So what most people, even in smaller apartments, like 650 to 700 square foot apartments, that 350 square feet usually represents the living room in that apartment. So this is tiny. If you're not sure what a tiny house is, I'll give you some examples here as soon as I can pull them up quickly. You'll see them again like on a lot of HGTV shows and stuff. So here's an example of one. It's kind of neat looking. They make them look really stylish and fancy and all that sort of stuff, but that is your entire house. So if you're going there, and I think Valerie Garcia commented on the post in Inman, and she made some good comments there regarding, this would be good for like a weekend getaway, a little Airbnb where somebody's going to stay the night, and that kind of a thing. But for day-to-day living, this is the entirety of your world, I guess. So you're looking at your, that's your couch, I guess. That's your bedroom up on top, or some living space up on top, and your bedroom tucked in underneath. The bathroom in the back right corner. Generally speaking, that's about it. That's all you really need to see about tiny houses. So they're very tiny, and I get the attraction to them. They're cute and all that kind of stuff. But I have to say, from my own experience, that people stink. And they stink in more ways than one. Generally speaking, everybody knows you walk into your house and, you go to somebody's house who's just finished cooking dinner or whatever it might be, and their house has a certain smell. Everybody gets to be kind of immune to the smell of your own house a little bit, at least the day-to-day stuff. Obviously, if some things change, or you'll notice the difference. But, you always go to people's houses and you associate smells with certain people's houses. It could be because of their cooking. It could be because they have pets. So if you have a dog or a cat, I have a tiny little dog. And there are days when I come home where I can really smell my dog when I walk in the front door. Whether it's been a hot day and the air conditioning's not turned on and he's just sweating away or whatever it is that he's doing. And then just people in general. I've got 2 teenage sons. The older one has discovered girls. So he likes to, shower a million times a day, which is already a pain in the butt. But he also likes to splash on the cologne. usually the expensive stuff that I usually try to go and get, which I don't use very often, but he seems to like to take a shower and then take a second shower in my very expensive cologne, to the point where in my little 2-bedroom townhouse here, I have a 3-story walk up. So I have the main floor is just basically the garage and a foyer or media room and stairs, and the furnace and everything else. But stairs to go up to the second floor, which I have a combined space here with a living room, dining room, kitchen, all pretty open concept. And then 2 bedrooms and a powder room on the main floor here, and then 2 bedrooms and a bathroom and laundry on the top floor. So by the time he does all that and he starts walking down the stairs, I can already smell him. So that's an issue if you're living in a tiny house. So people smell, colognes, your food, your garbage, just the general humidity in the house, that kind of thing, can cause real issues. You need some good ventilation to happen. If anybody is vaping or smoking or anything like that, you know what it would be like in a larger house. You can imagine what it would be like in a tiny house that's about 350 square feet. So all that kind of stuff. And then people's just general body odor. I mean, everybody has a smell. You can bathe and you can do all that. You can be a very clean person, but everybody has a smell. Whether it's you're sweating or like I said, you're just sitting on the couch and it's humid, everybody just has a certain smell. In a very small space like that, you need to have the ventilation constantly exchanging the air, even just because the air itself gets used up pretty quickly by people just breathing. So if you're breathing in a space like that, the off gases from things like furniture, flooring, paint, and all that sort of stuff fills that space very quickly. So you do need enhanced ventilation, but that also means that you're losing a lot of heat or you're losing a lot of cooling, because even the best HRV systems, which again take up space, there's heat recovery ventilation systems that they use in R2000 insulated homes, only usually recover about 85 to 90% of the heat that you're generating. So what it does is takes the air from the house, it ejects it outside the house to try, and then it brings in an equal amount of fresh air. But if it's in the middle of the winter time, it's blowing out hot air that you paid money to heat and bringing in cold air from outside. So the HRV actually tries to capture as much heat as possible. Again, usually about 85 to 90% of the heat that's leaving the building, and transfer that heat energy into the air that's coming in to warm it up before it comes into the house. But that still means that you're losing about 10 to 15% of the heat that you generated, because you have to exchange the air to prevent things like mold from growing in your house and to just have quality clean air to breathe. So a tiny space like that, it would be like running the bathroom fan all day long, just constantly sucking out air and then having to bring in fresh air to breathe. In the summertime, when you can open doors and windows, that might make it a little bit better. But if you live in an area with high humidity, that high humidity then gets into your house. So then it gets into things like your furniture, your clothes. It makes everything damp. It's like being in the Caribbean for a week or being in Cuba in a really hot, humid climate when you come home and all your clothes are kind of damp and have that damp smell. Again, more smells. And then beyond that, so these are just practical concerns with a small house or a tiny house. Technical, practical concerns. And then people in general stink. Like personally, their personalities. At some point, you could be the most loving, amazing couple in the world. You can love each other to death and all that kind of stuff, but you'll get on each other's nerves. And in a 350 square foot house, where do you go? Like, you can't really get away from each other very much. So that either forces you to make up, but sometimes people just need their space. My kids drive me nuts sometimes, and I love them to death. I would give my life for my children. But on certain days, they drive me absolutely insane. So I do need space from them. They need space from me and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, there's that. So they stink in that way too. So these are all the various concerns that I personally would have going into a tiny home. People do live in modular homes and trailers and that sort of thing on a year-round basis. It does take a very specific type of personality to be able to basically not have a lot of stuff. You can't really like things like books and videos and all that stuff, unless you're reading them digitally, all of them digitally on your tablet or on your phone, that sort of thing. Or things like Christmas trees and decorations, even things like photo albums, all that sort of stuff, most likely has to become digital for the most part, which is not that difficult a thing to deal with, I guess. But even things like, where do you store your toilet paper? I mean, unless you constantly have to be buying things, because you don't really have a lot of storage space for things like food, for things like toilet paper, paper towels, and cleaning supplies, all that sort of stuff. Which, I mean, you don't really need a ton of cleaning supplies because your place is small, but you still got to go to the bathroom just as much. You're probably still going to shower just as much. So you need your soaps and your towels. And how often do you do laundry? Because, I mean, you can't really have a lot of clothes. You don't have a lot of closet space. So you're constantly having to do laundry. Your shoes, I mean, if you're down to like one or two pair of shoes because you don't have a lot of storage space for them. So my friend James Malonis, my friend, the big Greek dude from Toronto, would probably die in a tiny house. If he could only have two pair of shoes, I think he would literally pass out and die. So that's just my opinion of James, and I love James to death, I do, but he does love his shoes, so he needs space. So those are just the kind of things that I thought of. What do you think about tiny homes? What do you think other issues might be in a tiny home? I'm sure there are plenty of ones that I'm not thinking of. There's a whole bunch of people watching today. I'm looking down here. Susan from Ottawa, Captain Kirk, how you doing, sir? Hopefully I'll see you at Fan Expo in a couple of weeks. Jason Miller from Michigan, how you doing, bro? Ken McGowan, Raj, Mike, Jennifer McFerrin from Ottawa as well. Hope you're all doing very well. Thank you for all tuning in. If you have any comments, please leave them below. My comment on the Inman article was in that 350 square foot Soho apartment was, I'd hate to be there when somebody farted. What do you do? I mean, if it's your own, I mean, I guess everybody likes their own brand, as Fat Bastard from Austin Powers likes to say. But generally speaking, in a 350 square foot room, which is just slightly larger than my single car garage, you got to be really careful, and you really got to love the one you're with, honey. You really, really do. So that's all I'm going to say for this hump day. I do appreciate y'all tuning in. As always, I will let you know that I am Tony, the Geeky Agent, and this is Remax Geek TV, or at least my version of it. If you are looking for me online, you can, of course, find me here on Facebook, but I'm also available on YouTube and Instagram. Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram is where I am normally and where you'll find most of my content, but I do also have accounts on Snapchat, Twitter, Tumblr, and Pinterest if you want to look me up there as well. You can reach me by phone. Call or text me at 289-237-9896, or you can email me, Tony@thegeekyagent.com. You can check out my website. It is undergoing a bit of a transition, but you can check us out at thegeekyagent.com, or if you look up HamiltonLifestyleSearch.com, you'll go direct to the search portion of the website, which is undergoing a few updates in the next week or two. Aside from that, that is who I am. So again, I really do appreciate you tuning in. If you have a moment and you have some generosity of spirit today, visit motorcycleformiracles.com, www.motorcycleformiracles.com, or look them up on social media at Motorcycle for Miracles. My friend Bruce Johnson and his daughter Holly Johnson are taking a motorcycle ride from Tuktoyaktuk, Northwest Territories, all the way down to Ushuaia, something along those lines, way down to southern tip of Argentina. It is over a 17,000 kilometer ride that they are doing to raise awareness for and to raise funds for children's hospitals across Canada and the United States, specifically the Alyssa Ray Johnson Endowment Fund at Sick Kids in Toronto. But you can donate, and if you want the funds to go to Sick Kids, that'd be amazing. If you'd like the funds to stay local, you can also indicate that, and the funds, based upon your postal code or your zip code, will go to your local Children's Miracle Network Children's Hospital. So if you have a minute, go to motorcycleformiracles.com. It is Miracle Month for us here at Remax. We do have our Miracle Home program. So for those Remax agents who have signed up, not all Remax agents, but for those who have signed up to the Miracle Home program, every time I buy or sell a property for a client, a donation is automatically made to Children's Miracle Network, and it goes to support McMaster Children's Hospital here in Hamilton. So look for the Miracle Home rider on homes. Ask your RE/MAX agent if they are a member of the Miracle Home program, and if they're not, ask them why. What else are they doing to give back to the community? Our brokerage, our company, RE/MAX, is, as far as I can tell, amongst the most generous people that I've ever had the opportunity to meet. A ton of them are part of the Miracle Home program, and those who aren't are engaged in other charitable activities, most likely in the community in which they work in. I also support War Amps. I do volunteer coaching for local soccer teams, for kids soccer teams, and I sponsor local children's soccer teams, as well as a bunch of other things we do with the brokerage, as far as like working at food banks throughout the year, and a number of other things that we do. So make sure whoever you're working with is giving back to the community that they live in. It's only fair. I think so. So that'd be an amazing thing for you to do. If you are on Messenger, Braden on Messenger. Yeah, you can find me if you go m.me/Tony from Hamilton. That's me on not MSN Messenger, bastard. You got me. I'm thinking Facebook Messenger, but I did have an MSN Messenger account way back in the day. You can Skype me if you still want to get on Hotmail. You can Skype me, Tony.Iacoviello, on Skype if you want to do that. And that's it. I don't know, I've been talking a lot. It is Wednesday. I got to go and do some stuff. I got to work. I got to talk to some clients, get some listings up, get some rental properties up. I probably need to buy some more clothes because all my clothes are getting old and worn out, and they don't fit because, I drink and eat and stuff like that. So I got to go do that so I can we'll be up in Blue Mountain soon. So maybe we'll do some broadcasts from up in Blue Mountain next week. So we'll be up there with the kiddos. Maybe we'll do some stuff up there. Keep following at the Geeky Agent on all your social media channels, and you'll see me doing some fun stuff with the kiddos, fishing, swimming, cottaging, all that sort of stuff. Until next time, I really do appreciate y'all tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, have a look around for the subscribe button. Join those other brave 98.99 people who have subscribed already. Get us up to 100 subscribers. Maybe I'll do something fancy if you're the 100th subscriber. I'll send you something wicked. I've got some neat stuff laying around here. I've got over 4,000 comic books and a bunch of other stuff, so maybe we'll do that. I hope you have a great rest of the day, everybody. And until next time, I love you. I really, really do. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.